The floor is yours, Anna.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Again, everybody was already here. Just a quick reintroduction. Ana Zambrano, recruitment advisor for the college, pronouns she, her, hers. Just a little bit of background about myself. I actually did my undergraduate degree at Cal Poly Pomona. Brianna, I think you said you were admitted there too, for liberal studies with a teacher preparation option. I actually deviated from my path in teaching. I deviated from that for several reasons. We don't have to get into that, but it's still, I still have a passion for education. So this is why I'm still here. And now I'm actually in higher education in the College of Education at Cal State LA. So I'm still very much a part of education, very much enjoy it. And I do believe that anybody that wants to be in the classroom definitely should be. If you have a passion to work with children, with young adults, and want to help them reach their goals, career goals, academic goals, you definitely want to be a part of that in any capacity. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and share a little bit about the Charter College of Education and the options that you have if you're transferring to Cal State LA or expect to transfer in the coming terms. I'm part of the Charter College of Education, so I work with just the College of Education specifically, but anyone else that is looking to do a teaching credential would be part of the College of Education. So no matter what option or what degree you are admitted to, you still would be part of the College of Ed. I don't think we did this yet, but if you wouldn't mind, as I'm going through the presentation, we don't have to stop or anything, but go ahead and include the credential that you're looking to pursue and why you're looking to teach in the chat. So the Charter College of Education, we offer several programs. We have about 57 programs, including 2 undergraduate degrees, several graduate post-baccalaureate degrees, and professional credentials. As far as credentialing goes, anybody that wants to teach, no matter what degree you have, you still can become a teacher. So if you have an anthropology degree and you want to teach history or science or English or multiple subject, you can become a teacher. However, some of these credentials or some of the degrees that are available to you can help you waive out of the CSEP. So it's important to know the different exam requirements for teaching. One of them would be the basic skills exam or the CBEST. I really want you all to keep in mind, Leah, I think you can help me with this. The critical thinking class is English 102. The college level English and the college level math. They take statistics, I know that for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a 101.
Yeah. So any of the college level courses that you take at the English, critical thinking and math, that is waiving you out of the CBEST or the basic skills as long as you have a B or better. So keep an eye out for those classes, because some of these exams, like I said, you can waive out of them with coursework. And for the subject matter, the subjects that you're going to teach, you can waive out of them with certain degrees. Now, the Charter Call, or actually Cal State LA in general, has several different colleges. The College of Education is the only one that has the credentials, so whether it's services credential, Jennifer was asking about a services credential, speech and language pathology. But we also have the teaching credentials at the Charter College or the College of Education. There are certain programs within Cal State LA that have teacher preparation or subject matter content that can waive you out if you're looking for a single subject or multiple subject. These are the 6 colleges that specifically have degrees geared towards teaching. At the Charter College, we have, oh, thank you so much for that, Aliyah, that really helps. At the Charter College, we have the BA in Urban Learning, the Bachelor of Arts in Urban Learning. We have several different options, and I don't think I'm sharing my screen, am I? It should be okay now. The BA in Urban Learning, I'll be focusing, okay, great. I'll be focusing on the Urban Learning program because that is part of the College of Education. But there is also art, English, liberal studies, music, dance, theater arts, industrial technology, child and family studies, kinesiology, biology, chemistry, different types of sciences, math, physics, anatomy, and Chicanx studies. These all have some form of teacher preparation within it, or at least a subject matter competency requirement. Some of these programs are integrated, meaning that they have the degree and the credential, and you can complete both of them at the same time. Others prepare you with the content, so you would pursue the credential afterwards. Now, many of you are likely looking at the child development program to pursue teaching. There are the child development program has two different options. One is the general option and the other one is the teacher preparation option. The general option, for those of you that are transferring, that's likely going to be where you're going to start. The teacher preparation option has had a lot of units, very designated courses. So it's kind of hard for transfer students to have the teacher preparation option for child development. You would be eligible for the general option though. It does focus on the development of the child, and you've been doing that if you're in the Child and Family Studies program at Rio Hondo, you will know that this is going to be the case. You're going to be focused on child growth and development. The BA in Liberal Studies is also one of the teacher preparation programs for multiple subject. This is an interdisciplinary program, so it covers different disciplines within from science to literature. So it covers a broad array of disciplines. There are three options for liberal studies. They have the general option, and then they have the teacher preparation in elementary and the teacher preparation in special education. This also has a fully integrated option, which is the option 3. You can finish your degree and your credential at the same time. They have option 2, which means that you would start the credential as an undergraduate, but finish it after you graduate. The general degree option doesn't have the teaching credential embedded, which means that you would do the entire credential program as a post-baccalaureate. One of the few, I would say probably Cal State LA is one of the few that have Chicano studies or Chicana studies as part of the teacher preparation program. This is like liberal studies, also an interdisciplinary program that covers social justice, literature, sciences, education policies, pop culture and social media, immigration, etc., that involves the Chicana experience. They have 3 different options. One of them is a general option, which is just focusing on the discipline, not on teaching. Option 2 and option 3 does focus on elementary education. So you can, with option 2, you start the credential. With option 3, you start and complete the credential at the same time. These programs, these teacher preparation programs have the CSET waiver embedded, okay? So you would also be eligible for the CSET waiver. Now, the one that I'm gonna focus on is the BA in Urban Learning. This program is, like the other 3, an interdisciplinary program. It is community-based, community-centered, and focused on education impacts, on the impacts education has in urban communities. So, and I can speak for myself because I teach one of the classes in urban learning. I can tell you that it is very much of a program that tries to prepare you as a leader within urban education, within urban settings. We have the teacher preparation in elementary education, the teacher preparation in education specialist settings, the teacher preparation option in dual credentials, which means that you can get the credential for multiple subject and for special education at the same time. And then we have the teaching and learning option, which is just the degree. It doesn't have the credential. That doesn't mean that there's no way for you to start the credential. There are ways for you to always start, but these are the different options that we offer. Just one quick thing to note about the elementary option, you can also do the bilingual authorization. So with the elementary option, you can add the bilingual authorization, the added authorization. For those of you that may be bilingual in Spanish, in particular, we're starting with Spanish. You can pursue the, you basically would be getting about 4 things: your degree, your CSET waiver, your teaching credential, and the added authorization for Spanish. As far as the College of Education goes, like I said, we do have several programs. The two programs that we offer here are the Bachelor of Science in Rehabilitation Services. So if anybody here is looking to, or if you know anybody that wants to teach or do counseling, a lot of people think rehabilitation services, and they think that it has to do with drug and alcohol addiction. That's not the case, at least not for us in this program. That major or that program is in applied science that helps students or people in urban communities and people that are in a marginalized setting. The BA in Urban Learning, this is a program that you might want to look into for teaching. And I mentioned the 4 different options. I'm going to go more in depth about that in a few minutes. For teaching, we have the multiple subject, single subject, education specialist credential, and different certificates and authorizations. The master's in education, we have 9 different options. We have 8 options for master's in special education. And then we have 2 options for master's in educational technology. If you are about technology and you want to get acquainted and learn and how to apply that in schools, look at the master's in educational technology, because this is going to be very helpful for you in the near future. If you want to be a principal in the future, the master's in educational administration would be ideal. This program, you do have to have teaching experience. So after you have completed your preliminary credential, look into getting the administrative credential or the MA in educational administration. The EDD and PhD programs, once you have your master's degree and you want to get be called a doctor, look into those different programs as well. Now, we are here to prepare preschool, elementary, middle school, high school teachers, education specialists, reading specialists, school counselors, rehab counselors, school psychologists, administrators, researchers, and instructional technologists. So the College of Education really does want to focus on education and how we can support the community in all these different areas. I'm going to skip this one. Like I said, the rehab services program, if you know anybody that wants to go into counseling, send them my way so we can talk about the rehab services program. It is a really good option for anybody that is looking to go into psychology, but may not have the GPA, or that wants to learn a little bit, just a general idea of what an applied science is. This is a really good option to look into. And I'm going to move on to the next. I want to focus on urban learning because I know that you're all here for teaching. So the BA in urban learning. Oh, and I don't see. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pause here. And if anyone here, I know we have a few students here, you can go ahead and unmute or add it to the chat. What credential are you looking to pursue? If anyone's brave enough to unmute. Okay, so if you are looking to teach elementary, type in 1, the number 1 on the chat. Okay, we have 1 person. 2, great. If you're looking to teach at the education specialist setting, type in the number 2. And if you want to teach both elementary and education specialist settings, number 3. And if you don't know, that's fine too. This is why we're here. We want you guys to explore the different options that you have for teaching. So you don't have to know right now because you do have some time before you transfer. You should try to know by the time you transfer, because that's when you're going to start preparing and doing the credential classes. So definitely want to know by the time you're ready to transfer. But I know that these 3 people know that they want to teach elementary, so that's good. So the BA in urban learning, I did mention the different options. We do teach preschool. Preschool is a really good option too. And that actually, at this time, you don't need a specific credential. You need a supervisor it's an early supervisor permit at this time. I know that there's a credential coming down the pipeline. It's not out just yet, but I know that it is coming down the pipeline. And that early childhood credential would be teaching children from TK through 3rd grade. So preschool does not require a credential because you're doing just exposure. So it doesn't require a specific credential. But if you're looking to teach in a what you would call a traditional K-12 setting, you definitely will need a teaching credential. So again, the CCOE Urban Learning Program, we focus on giving back to the community. We work in a cohort or small learning community setting. So most of you would be starting and doing the same classes, at least one class together throughout the program. And that would be until you graduate. Usually students complete their program within about 2.5 years, roughly, if they're doing the credential program at the same time. So here, and I'll go over the different options, which we've already kind of talked about. The teacher preparation option for elementary prepares students that want to teach in a TK to 8th grade setting. The teacher preparation for education specialists prepares students that want to work in the ed specialist setting. Preparation for dual credential means that you can work both in elementary or multiple subject setting and an ed specialist setting. And teaching and learning, you can pursue both. You can, if you decided that, once you're in the program and you decide that you don't want to teach, or that maybe you want to pursue something else, but you still want to stay within education, you would go through the teaching and learning option. And you can, you would still be eligible for the CSET waiver because it's still part of the waiver. The CSET is still part of that that option. So in the future, if you decided to come back for teaching, you would have that waiver. Now for special education, the education specialist credential has different options. One of them is early childhood special education. So for that person that wants to teach at the preschool setting, if you want to teach education specialist preschool setting, that requires a credential. And that would be an early childhood special education credential, which means that you can work with children from 0 to 5 years of age. You would be doing early intervention with children of all abilities, and you would hopefully get them prepared to get started in kindergarten and get them at either at grade level or close to grade level when you start working with them at a younger age. There's a mild moderate credential, which means that you can work anywhere from TK through 22 years of age. Children, when they're working in a net specialist setting, they can stay in school longer, so they can stay in school up until 22 years of age. Moderate, severe physical and health impairments and visual impairments. Just a quick note on the visual impairments credential, we are one of the few schools within California that offer this credential. The other school that offers the visual impairments credential is up north, closer to San Francisco. So we do have a lot of students in this program that all the way from San Diego to Sacramento that come and do their program here. Most of the time, the courses for the visual impairments credential are mostly online or at least hybrid. So there is, at least for that program, options for that. Just a show of hands, how many of you, or you can just say yes or no in the chat, how many of you have enjoyed being online? Okay, I see 2 raised hands that really enjoy it. Okay, awesome. So I do see a few people that really enjoyed the online option. So just a quick note on this, actually. The College of Education, most of the programs, most of the coursework will be on campus, but we always do our best to have at least one section of the classes offered online. So you may not be fully online, but you may be hybrid, or you may be you may have hybrid options, or you may have online options. But the good thing is that the classes are all in the evening, so you still have the opportunity to work during the day and come to school in the evening. Again, most of the classes will be on campus, but there are online and hybrid options for your courses. This is essentially like a rough roadmap of what it looks like, or timeline of what it looks like for students that are transferring or coming to school at Cal State LA. The first 2 years, you cover the lower division requirements. That's what you're doing at community college. You do the lower division courses, you finish all of that to transfer. You probably are doing your ADT or your AA to transfer. And then you get to Cal State LA. When you get to Cal State LA, you are here. This would be your third year. You essentially start your third year here. This is when you're focusing on degree courses, urban learning. If you're coming for urban learning, you're focusing only on urban learning classes. There are some requirements, and this is going to be the case for most CSUs. You're going to have requirements at the upper division level. Aaliyah, I know you're at San Bernardino, sorry, not San, Long Beach. So I know you also have courses, right? And maybe you can talk a little bit about that in terms of your upper division courses. I think it's 3, right?
No, I have, they're all called capstones, and I have, let's see, so the capstones are pretty much they're all the classes I have ever put together into one, but it's really about curriculum building and how to set units and all. It's pretty much getting you ready to build, we have to come up with lesson plans and all that, how to meet standards. And so, for example, right now I have a class where every music class, art class, theater art, it's called the capstone. So all those classes are integrated into one, but becoming a lesson, or like how to build the curriculum, meeting those standards. And it's really project-based learning. So that's what I really like, because I like PBLs. I have another one for every English class that I have took that incorporates literacy and literacy with diversity. So, especially being in LA itself, we want to learn how to teach in diversity schools. And like, for example, history, right now, the big thing is anti-bias history with ethnic studies. So they're literally teaching us how to really build a curriculum, build around that. And it's just like lesson unit design planning. And they're just called capstones in the end. So it's every one class that you have taken is all built into this one class.
It's embedded in one. Yeah. So that's essentially the same thing at Cal State LA. A lot of your courses, when you come in, you're coming in for upper division coursework, focusing on urban learning. The courses that you would be taking would be specifically for urban learning and education. So all of the program will be revolved around education, policies, and critical race theory, critical thinking. So that's all going to be encompassed within the program, and that would be your last, your basically the remainder of your program here at Cal State LA. Usually with urban learning, or rather with the credential program, you are technically adding another year. Don't think of it as adding another year, because a lot of people graduate within 4 years, but that's only with their degree. The credential program, the teaching credential, is a license issued by the state, and these are requirements that we cannot control. You have to meet them some way or another. That extra year is basically just credential requirements, just credential courses. For us, at least with urban learning, the courses are intermixed. So you really wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a credential class and a degree class, because they are mixed, they're blended. It's a blended program. If you were to graduate within 4 years, you would come back to the credential program for about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years, instead of just finishing everything within 3 years. So you're still saving some time. And this is just like a quick disclaimer. Not everybody's program is going to look a little bit different, okay? This is just a rough overview of what it would look like when you transfer. But everybody's case is unique. Some people may have taken courses at another university that we need to see whether will count here. Some people have just finished just the 60 units to transfer, but maybe they haven't finished all of their lower division courses, and they need to take 1 or 2 extra classes. So that will change once you get here, and this is why I'm here, to help you to help onboard you and help you through that process. Once you're here at Cal State LA in urban learning, you would be working with me at least for the first year, to the first semester to the first year, and then you would be working directly with our undergraduate advisor and our credential advisors. So you have a lot of support here. Because the program is so small, we have enough staff to help guide you through the entire process. And we do our best to provide the courses every semester, so you don't have to guess what you have to take. That is something that I think we tend to pride ourselves with, because we know what classes you have to take next, and we can tell you, okay, you may be off track, but we can help you catch up with these classes, or we can help you catch up in the summer, things like that. That's what we're here for. Now, as far as transferring goes, really you need to complete your 60 units. You're going to be applying to the university, so the requirements that the university has, those you have to meet no matter what. And you can also meet the major specific criteria to know that you are on track, both with the degree, both with transfer requirements and with the degree requirements. The courses that you definitely need to complete is a college level English composition, oral communication, critical thinking, and quantitative reasoning. You are all completing those classes already. You do need to have 60 units to transfer and a 2.0 GPA to transferable GPA. You do have to be in good academic standing. I don't expect that you would have any issues with that. I know Leah keeps a very close eye on you guys, so I'm sure you guys are doing well in your classes. And then we have specifically for urban learning, we do require a little bit of a higher GPA because you're going to go into a licensing program where the state does have certain mandates. So the minimum required to transfer to urban learning is a 2.4 GPA, and the GE to the AA to transfer. The courses that we require, basically they're the same, at least in this. And let me highlight here just so you know where I'm looking right now. So here, if you notice, these are the same classes that I mentioned earlier: quantitative reasoning, English, communication, and biology. So those are all classes that you would be doing regardless. Those are classes that you're going to do for any school that you would be transferring to. That is going to be required. The other classes that we encourage, but are not necessarily required, world history, U.S. history, literature courses. I know some of these classes you're taking them already, so it's not going to be an issue for you to transfer. You have the child development class as part of your major, the development and lifespan and development class, U.S. history. So all of these classes, you're likely taking them already. Let's see. Yeah, so make sure you talk to your counselors. Thanks for that, Aliyah. Definitely you want to talk to your counselors to confirm that you're on track and to transfer. You don't want to, the other thing that I would highly recommend that you do when you speak to your advisor, or rather, the reason why you should speak to your advisor is because you want to try to stay within the 60 units of your like transfer units. Just within the 60 transfer units. Part of that reason is, one, because like I said, the credential program does add a semester or two for you to graduate. But two, because and this is something you also might want to talk to the financial aid advisor. I'm not a financial aid advisor, but you don't want to go, you don't want to exceed your allotted financial aid, because if you wait, if you take too many units at community college, you're eating up funding that you could use at the college or at the university when you transfer. So try your best to stay within the 60 units and avoid using up more financial aid at the community college level when you can use that when you transfer. Now the exam requirements, this is going to be something that any program will require. This is something that the state requires, again, as a state mandated requirement. You have to meet these things in different ways. You may be able to meet them in different ways, but you do need to have the CBEST. You do need to have the CSET. And again, the CSET, if you're going for a teacher preparation program, you would have the subject matter competency with your degree. If you're looking at the CBEST, the communication or critical thinking class, the English class, and your quantitative reasoning courses, if you got a B or better in those classes, you have the CBEST already met, the basic skills requirement. So all of those things to keep in mind as you're going through the program, as you're going through your current degree program, so that when you transfer, you are ready to have all of your requirements. Oh, great. Thanks, Alex, for having that, for listing that. All right. It's never, ever, ever too late to think about graduate school. A few things to keep in mind, because your bachelor's degree will only get you so far. The credential is going to get you into the classroom. That's important. That's what we want. But if you want to move beyond the classroom, you definitely are going to you should start considering graduate programs. You don't have to dwell on it right now because you have plenty of time to think about it, but stuff to consider. And these are questions that I would start thinking about as I'm going through these processes of transferring, and what do I want to do when I grow up. What are your career goals? I know right now your immediate goal is to teach. Is that going to be your career goal forever? Or is that your 5-year plan? Is that your 10-year plan? What do you plan on doing beyond that? So consider that, okay? What do you plan on doing after you graduate? What do you want to be an expert in? Graduate schools or graduate programs have different options. You notice in Cal State LA, the Master's in Education has 9 different options. So do you want to focus on curriculum design? Do you want to focus on bilingual education? Do you want to work specifically with people that are speakers of other languages? Those are things that you want to consider and look into, because that will help you with that graduate program that you're going to consider. Now, what population do you want to work with? The BA in Urban Learning, like I said, is designed for people that want to work in an urban setting. The Master's in Bilingual Education and Urban Education, that's another way to really focus in on that urban education setting within the bilingual program, or within bilingualism. So the population that you want to work with should also play a role in what in the graduate program that you're considering. Also for the undergraduate program, by the way, because different programs are going to have work with different populations, and actually different schools as well. Are you considering working in higher education? Do you want to be a professor? If that's the case, you absolutely will need a master's degree. You cannot be a professor without a master's degree. So something to consider if you want to teach in higher education. The last thought that I have before I give you my contact information is, know that teaching is right now, it's super, super, super necessary to go into teaching. We have such a shortage for teachers that all of these regulation changes, the exams, all of that has to do because is a result of the teaching shortage that we have right now. But you also, I want to also share that going into teaching, although it isn't easy, it's definitely worthwhile. You definitely make a big difference, and you want to feel, if you want to feel like you're making a difference with at least just one child, going to teaching. That's how you can impact. There's something that I actually in my program they mentioned, when you work in teaching, you're actually impacting at least 3 generations. The generation you're working with, the generation, their parents, because you also influence their parenting skills to some extent, and the children of the children that you're working with, because you're also going to influence the parenting that they will have or that they will give when they have children in the future. So this is important. It's not, the teaching is not easy, but it's also very important to go into it with the heart and to know that you really want to be there. And with that, I'm just going to provide my contact information and open it up to any other questions you might have. You can raise your hand, you can unmute.
I like the master's programs.
Start looking into them.
You know, a part of me, like exactly what you're saying, like the 5-year program of like trying to be a teacher for me, and then eventually try to become at least a principal for me.
Yeah, you do have to have, this is actually good, Aaliyah, thank you for bringing that up. If you want to be a principal, you definitely want to have experience in the classroom. You have to have the experience in the classroom. Actually, you have to have at least 3 years of teaching experience. Aaliyah, when you get to those 3 years, if you're still haven't done your induction program, come to Cal State LA. You can do your induction program and your master's for educational administration.
Yeah, I was told that you only need like a certain credential for that and all, but I will keep that in the back of my mind. Right now, I just got to go through my student teaching.
Just focus on student teaching right now. Yes. I'm going to close my screen right now so I can add my information to the chat. And I am open for questions. You can also, if you're shy, you can also text me. By the way, you guys are going into teaching. You should not be shy because you're going to be in front of children. I know it's easier to work with children and to speak in front of children, but you're also going to have to speak in front of parents. So this is your time to practice.
Yes, guys, you can either put your questions on the chat or you can unmute yourself. Either you really explained it really well, Anna, or
I mean, you know what? I actually had a teacher that would say, a professor that said, if people are not asking questions, you should be worried. So I'm worried. Look, I know sometimes it's a little bit nerve-wracking being in public, so don't feel like you absolutely have to speak up, but you also want to, this is another urban educator reminder, okay, or tip. If ever you're in public, if ever you are in a setting where you are a situation where you're overwhelmed, please ask questions. One, we're getting paid for that. We're getting paid to answer any question you might have. And two, the only way you're going to learn is by asking questions. So no question is a dumb question. Ask, because that's the only way you'll be able to move forward and grow. You don't have to ask questions right now, but you have my contact information. You can always reach out to me via text, email, or just do my drop-ins. I'm not always available for my drop-ins because I have other meetings, but Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from starting at 3:30, usually I have drop-in hours.
you should, so that's via Zoom.
Via Zoom, yeah. So that's the Zoom link. You can go into that Zoom link around that time.
Very nice.
I have a question
Hi,
for this. Go ahead. No, you go ahead. You're first.
are you sure? No, you can go. I can ask it after.
I was just gonna talk.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna ask, for in the beginning, I know I was a little late, but I saw like information about the BS and Rehabilitation Center, and I wanted just to see like what like, because I was kind of interested in that, what you were talking about, what you were saying about that too, and I know I missed a little bit of, I got to the like end of when you were describing that, so I was wondering if you can elaborate a little bit on that one.
We can focus a little bit on the rehab services program. This is an applied science. So if you're thinking about psychology is a very much of an impacted program. So it has a lot of applications every year. The Bachelor of Science in Rehabilitation Services, I call it an interdisciplinary program in applied sciences because it focuses on psychology, sociology, social work, counseling. So it encompasses a lot within one program. So if you're looking into counseling, that would be a really good option to go into because they do work very closely with marginalized communities. As a matter of fact, I have an intern, he's not here right now, he's in class, but I have an intern who joins my meetings to get to see what we do as advisors, as counselors, as with students, and they get to see we also have an association called the Rehabilitation Counseling Association, and that group works with they go to the LA Mission every so often to do some service hours there. They also do a blanket drive in the winter. They do a backpack, a back to school night in the summer. So they do a lot of support with those students that are looking to work within the community in human services.
So Anna, you're
Oh,
already,
okay.
someone
So-
is looking forward to apply.
Awesome, great. Is that
Okay,
Erica?
thank you for that.
You're welcome.
It's because I
Melanie,
would
yeah, contact me. I'm happy to provide more information and connect you with a coordinator for that program.
yeah, of course I will text you on that then, because I am also interested with teaching and with psych still, so I want to like kind of test, like put my foot in both directions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do, this is another because there is something called a services credential in pupil personnel services for those that might want to teach in the work in a counseling setting at the school level, at the K-12 level. The master's in counseling with the option in school psychology or school-based family therapy has a PPS credential embedded. These programs are highly impacted, but they are really good options if you're looking to work in a school setting,
Okay.
especially in counseling or psychology. Melanie, my recommendation, and again, I'm just being biased, finish the teaching credential, get some teaching experience, and then come for the master's program afterwards.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see, transfer to Cal State LA because they've already attended your, oh, great, awesome. So you attended the meeting, great. Let's see. Wonderful. When are you applying, Erica?
Hi.
Hi.
So I'm still beginning my first semester at Rio Hondo, but after I get my units, I do transfer to go to Cal State LA and do the urban learning. So
Wonderful, wonderful, great. Stay in touch with Leah, with the counselors at Rio Hondo to know exactly what classes you can take that that count towards the CSET waiver. A lot of the courses they are articulated, so they will transfer, and you'll be good with the waiver. There are some changes with the CSET waiver due to the AB 130. We are very well aware of that. So some of the classes we can kind of, I'm going to say, play around with a little bit, but try to stick to the roadmap that is provided by Rio Hondo.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I have a question. So do you have an updated document for those courses that are articulated with Cal State LA?
I don't think they've
Related to
changed. I don't know if we have to do a new, like any kind of new updates, but I don't think the courses have changed as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
But we can double check if you'd like. We can talk later.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, but I don't think
Yeah,
they've changed at all. Aaliyah?
Yeah, it's pretty updated on Assist too. I always tell the students, besides either counselors, I could send them a thing, but also look at assist.org too. It's pretty aligned.
Yeah, I think with urban learning, they're very much aligned. Aaliyah, I think you had something to share.
Oh, I forgot what I was going to share.
All right,
yeah,
guys. Oh, go ahead, Julia.
No, it's just amazing. Amazing. You guys have a lot of amazing programs. I wish I knew about that urban one earlier.
So do you guys have any other questions for Anna? We are at 4:51 right now, and continue to put your questions on the chat if you want to, or just stop us if you want to unmute and ask your question. But we do have students here that were actually not here last Fun Friday. So we'd like to go ahead and show you the recording that shows about our college orientations, college specific orientation for CPTP. So if you've already seen that video, and if you don't have any more questions for Anna, you're feel free to go. But if you haven't seen the video, please stay and ask us any questions that you may have, because this is very specific to Rio Hondo CPTP.
And just before we leave, I'm actually going to just drop, let me see if I can here, drop the PowerPoint in the chat. It'll be in PDF format.
You can go ahead and send it to me, because I'm going to send the recording to a few of the students that I already had students
okay.
that, so send it to me and I'll just send it all to the students.
Okay, sounds
Thank you.
good. I'm gonna drop it here anyway for everyone that's here, and then I'll send it to you also. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I'll go ahead and send it to you, Aaliyah.
All right, Aaliyah, are you ready to share the recording? I'm the interim project manager for the CPTP program. So let me share with you our PowerPoint that we worked together. Okay. All right. Let's see. Do I have present? Okay. Oops. All right, so this is our presentation outline. We're going to be talking about match letters, connecting with your mentors, the stipend process, W-9, the timeline, and so on and so forth. So let me go ahead and start. So on February 14th, that was Valentine's Day. So I hope you didn't miss your match letter. We sent you guys your match letters. We sent it to the students and the mentors. So your mentor got one also, and your student got one also. So if you didn't get that match letter, please let us know so we can resend it to you. But I had, oh, sorry guys, dog. But I imagine that you guys probably got that match letter already. If anyone didn't get that match letter, go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, looks like everyone got their match letter. I'm trying to extend my gallery here so I can see everyone. All right. So in the match letter, you were asked to confirm that you received your match letter, and I suppose everyone did that. And of course, there's a reminder that you will have to complete 30 hours for this spring semester. And the timeline for the EAM mentoring program is from Monday, February 14, and the end date would be Saturday, May 14. Okay. And then you get your student information and your mentor information, and you were asked to, there were some few steps in there so that you can initiate contact with your mentor. And then, of course, the deadline for first contact with mentor is February 28, 2022, which is coming. I believe that is next Monday. So usually everyone who attends in this Fun Friday is on top of everything. So I know you guys probably already connected with your mentors. So thank you for that. If you didn't, that's okay. You still have time to contact your mentor. All right. So this is, we wanted to emphasize to you guys that it's really very important that you connect with your mentor, not only within that, within the deadline that we set, but to keep connecting with your mentor throughout the semester, because this mentoring program is about forming a relationship with your mentor. It's not just about accumulating hours, although that's good too. That means that you're doing a lot of things and that you're learning a lot of things, but you have to remember to make that relationship with your mentor, because in the long run, you will really benefit from that. Because even when you transfer to another university, If you have developed a relationship with your mentor, that mentor is always going to be there to support you. Okay. And I actually put a link to a resource here on how to build a successful mentor relationship, if you guys want to check that out. And this PowerPoint, by the way, is going to be available to you guys. So yeah, feel free to keep this with you because there's a lot of information in here that if you forget certain things, you can go back to this PowerPoint. Also, the stipend process. So the student get a stipend and the teachers get an honorarium, and they are usually processed after the student complete 30 hours of mentoring or 30 mentoring hours. And then after that, once you complete your hours, once the student complete their hours, there is this approval process that we go through, and that goes through everybody, our dean, our VPs. So that takes about a week just for the approval process. And then there's the accounting process, which takes about 3 weeks. So so if you complete you're really on top of sending this request and getting the approval process right away and sending it to accounting. But it does take some time to be able to process your stipend or your honorarium. So just give them a little time to be able to do that. And then the stipend and honorariums, they are mailed directly to the address that you provide to us in your W-9. Now, W-9 forms, especially for those who are new, are required for you to send to us, except for Rio Hondo employees, because we already have that. If you already submitted one in the previous semester, there is no need for you to submit another one unless, of course, you have a change of address. Okay, and I'm gonna have Aaliyah talk about the W-9, if you don't mind, Aaliyah.
The sorry. So the W-9, obviously, you write your full name if you have a first, middle, last name. For you guys, most of the time it's like an individual because it's not like you're part of like a business or anything else like that. Make sure you guys put your address because this is depending how much you make, you can use this for your taxes, but you guys really don't make enough to even for that tax claim or anything else like that. The next one is your social security number. Make sure you guys put the proper numbers on your social security just because it is like a government document and all. If you don't have a social security number, I think that's okay. Because I know we have like some people that are like on DACA and also, but that's okay. Just let us know. And then we could just like let accounting know, right, Leah, when it comes to people who don't have a social. Okay. All right. Yeah. And make sure you guys sign it. If you guys don't sign it, we can't pay you or give you anything else like that. Sign-in date is really important because it is an official government document. So that you guys go over.
Sorry, guys, I'm working at home today. I have a lot of background noise. All right, so this is the EAM timeline. So, so the deadline, as it says there, okay, so first there's the timeline for the mentoring program, which starts February 14 and ends May 14. And then the deadline for first contact with a mentor is on Monday, the 28th. And then Fun Friday, these are all our Fun Friday dates. And then we have our CPTE, of course, as I've said again, it ends May 14, 2022. And then, of course, the submission of stipend or honorarium requests, which that is actually my timeline to send all the requests for the stipend and honorarium requests to accounting. So you can always go back to this timeline, guys, if you forget. All right, and then here's the EAM log. You can actually scan the QR code here. If you ever if you ever lose the link to the EAM log. As I've said, go ahead and save this slide deck since you will be using all the information here throughout the semester. So if you scan this this QR code, that will take you to the EAM log. And also your EAM log is actually, the link is also in your match letter. So if you have that match letter, it's also located there. And of course, you can always ask us if you really need it and you can't find any of these. Okay. And so ways to earn hours. And actually that is Aaliyah's. Go ahead, Aaliyah.
So different ways to meet hours. I mean, I get it, 30 hours. We cannot all meet with the mentors. So different ways that you can meet hours is every month I come out with like a workshop type of PDF that you guys can do. I put different type of workshops, and I also put the workshops that we have for CTPT with our teacher mentor network. And so with that one, you know, look out, always try to look out always for emails and all. We have someone named Yvonne Trends who's always sending them out. I know this week we had JPL, so that was a good opportunity for you. We're gonna have Teach for LA coming up, so that's another good opportunity. So any opportunity that I see or get, anything that will be good for you guys, I send out. I also understand that we have students who are not available on the weekdays and need stuff on the weekends. So I provide like different recordings or anything else, podcasts, YouTube videos, or anything just like, you know, that they can do. Like if I see any workshop on the weekends, then obviously, you know, I send out everything I can. But yeah, if you guys do like about 2 to 3 hours a week, you guys will meet your goal by then.
Yeah. And the only thing I want to emphasize is if you do watch a video on your own or attend a workshop on your own, is to always circle back with your mentor, talk about what you've learned, you know, insights that you got from the workshops or the videos that you watch. Okay. And here's more resources that I think Aaliyah already actually mentioned. The TMN, which is the Teacher Mentor Network. And there's a sample of the calendar. I put a link right here of the calendar. So you will have access to the full calendar, not just March. And then of course, the EAM roadmap that CCE put together. This is full of resources, guys. And it's full of actually a lot of guide for you guys to go through the whole semester, and all the links are, you know, there's all kinds of links to resources in there. So I hope you and your mentor will take advantage of the EAM roadmap. Of course, it is just a suggestion. It's not mandatory that you follow this map, but it's really a very, very good guide for you guys throughout the semester.
Leia, there was a question about, or a very good, where'd it go? Would step up count as qualified for their volunteer work? Would it be, so if they volunteer, can they put in like those hours for the EAM log?
Well, we actually discussed this with CCE, and the only time that you will count is if they if they circle back with their mentors about their volunteer work, then that time that they spend with their mentor talking about step up will count. Because there's other actually places where they do tutoring as well. So it will be kind of double dipping, I guess, for us. I mean, Ruth and Suzanne is also here, so they can confirm, but I believe it's only the hours or the time that they spend with their mentor talking about their volunteer work. That is the only time that will count. I hope I stated that correctly, Ruth.
Yeah, I was just typing it in the chat. Yes,
Oh,
that is
okay.
correct. The actual time that if they're being paid for it is not counted, but the time debriefing about the experience would be. So
Okay.
whatever is happening and circling back. Yes.
Yes, yeah, and I see Suzanne's comment there too. They need to have conversations with their mentors about any non-paid hours of interacting with education. All right, okay. Thank you for that question, by the way. That's a good question. Okay, so this is just a repeat of all the Fun Fridays times or dates. Aaliyah, do you have anything else to add to this section?
Yeah, let's go ahead and stop here
Your Fun
because
Friday.
Yeah, I mean, just keep an eye out on your emails because we're gonna.
all right. Thank you guys for staying. I know we're a little bit over our time here. It's 5:08. So if you have any questions about everything that we talked about on that slide deck, you're more than welcome to stay a little bit and ask us any questions. Esmeralda, yes?
When we fill out the what was it
Nine?
called?
The
The W-9 form, where do we submit it or where do we turn it in?
You can actually submit it to me. So you can do it via email if you're comfortable with that, or you can mail it to me, or yeah, anyway, you can actually complete the form and then scan the form. If you don't have a scanner, then the best way to do it is probably to take a picture of it. Just make sure that it's all the whole form is actually included in the picture, and it's clear, so that way they will accept it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Esmeralda.
Yeah, and I can always send it to you plus a sample of like how to fill it out too. So I can do that.
Yes, please. That would be very helpful.
Anyone else who has any questions? And we will go ahead and send you guys this recording again. So that way, or actually probably the PowerPoint only. We will send you a copy of the PowerPoint, so you will have it as well. And you can just refer to it every time you need it.
Hi, good afternoon. I have a question.
Mhm.
So I emailed my mentor as soon as you guys sent out the email. And when I emailed her, I haven't gotten any contact back. And then when I tried to find her name to fill in the hours, I tried finding her and she didn't come out.
Okay, yeah, so Alma, you're actually very new. So I believe there was a student who also emailed us about that. And today, PCE actually updated that log. So if you go back, I think you should be able to find your mentor now.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Now, I want to be respectful of Anna's time also. So if you guys have any questions for Anna, please feel free to put it in the chat or ask Anna now. So, but if not, then I would like to thank Anna for her time, for the information that she gave us. She's always here for us. Every time we call for Anna to present to you guys, she's always here. And I know that we will be working with Cal State LA to do a lot of like onboarding activities. And I would love to talk to Cal State LA to really formalize that and do some sort of celebratory event for those students to transfer. Okay, so keep that. I hope you look forward to that too. So Anna, I'm really gonna work with you and Agustin on that.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
And thank you for being here, Anna.
Thank you all for having me. I hope you enjoy your weekend, and I will be seeing you all in about 2 weeks, I think. So,
Yes.
so see you all again in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, if anyone has questions, I know it's already kind of late and you're probably tired because it's Friday. You have my contact information. Feel free to follow up and reach out to me if you have any questions, concerns, or even if you're looking at the other teacher preparation programs, liberal studies, child development, Chicanic studies, like if you're looking at those options, I'm happy to help you out with that too. So again, Leah, Aaliyah, thank you very much for having me. Enjoy your weekend and I will see you all very soon.
Thank you, Anna.
Bye.